Cipher 5, you are clear for OTS RSRT approach left vector to Pace Station.
Chicken Watcher 3 o'clock, you're picking up a bandit. Where is he? I don't see him. Executing air maneuver, right now, right now, right now.
If we're not prepared, objections will knock us right out of the sky. The best way to handle objections is don't get one. Strong connection. Revisit connection throughout the sortie. Stick that landing with a solid close. Needless to say, even the finest operators will encounter resistance on a regular and daily basis. Sometimes at the moment of truth, where the fees pitch meets the payment method. As a matter of fact, objections at the moment of truth account for 3 out of the top 10 reasons that calls in. But that's no excuse to bug out. We're on a mission. We're here to change lives. We're not going to wave a white flag and watch people's hopes and dreams go in a tailspin. No sir, no ma'am. We are going to address that resistance with some wicked aerial maneuvers. If you and I know one thing, it's that objections are part of the job, but that don't mean they feel good. So let's start right there. Ground rule number 1, sales is an emotional process for both sides. When we get an objection, it's perfectly natural to be frustrated with ourselves or the caller or possibly both. But negative energy will only cloud our visibility and reduce our mission effectiveness. So then, what should we do? 2 things. 1, focus on the positive. You must be doing something right or they would have shot you down by now. 2, remember, this call is about them and their credit. We are going to be okay. We have a job. We have benefits. We have credit repair. But what does the caller have? And who is going to help them? Results may vary, which is why we must persist for their sake. Ground rule number 2, know when to engage. A question is not an objection. A question is a question. So we treat it as such. A condition is also not an objection. Condition is when a person wants to enroll and cannot. Perhaps they're underage. Maybe they live in a restricted state. Or they may not have a social. An objection, however, is when a person can enroll but has put a resolvable challenge in the way. For example,
I can't afford that. I don't have my card with me. Let me think about it. I'll need to talk with my spouse.
there's a third essential ground rule to air, which is that air only works when all 3 steps of air are engaged. Acknowledge, isolate, resolve. Acknowledge the caller's emotion. Ask questions to isolate their real concern, and then resolve their concern by reminding them of their mission. Now that we've established the ground rules, let's get in the air. Step 1, engage the objection by acknowledging their emotions. This step diffuses the situation. We do not move forward without acknowledging the caller's emotions, or we will get blown up. Do not say, "I understand." Everyone says it, and it doesn't mean anything. You will get ignored, or you may get a response that you do not want.
You don't understand.
Instead, ace the acknowledgement with a short, simple statement, such as,
I can't afford that.
I see.
I don't have my card with me.
Hey, I've been there.
Let me think about it.
It's smart to consider options.
I'll need to talk with my spouse.
I get that.
who up, heard, understood, acknowledged. That'll bring defenses down and show that we care. Step 2, isolate the target. Objections stem from fear. Scared people hide things. Many times the first objection is a smokescreen. Too many drivers go from acknowledge straight to resolve without proper isolation. Rookie mistake. Top performers put the ace in pace by being patient and unbothered. Isolation is how we spot the real bandits so we can lock on. After we acknowledge, we maneuver to the control zone using open-ended and clarifying questions.
Is it the TransUnion fee or the first work fee?
Well, I mean, that's a lot each month.
Okay, tell me more about that. Besides that, what else might be holding things back?
Nothing.
Fantastic. What other considerations are there?
I'm just not sure about all this.
That's fair. Tell me more. What thoughts might they have?
They'd want to know how effective you really are.
Smart question. In what way?
After each question, go silent and listen. Probing lures the bandit into the open. Once that happens, we'll line up and ask,
If we can get together on the price, will we be able to move ahead?
Sure.
If we can get together on a way to pay, would we be able to move ahead?
Yup.
If we can get together on those items, will we be able to move ahead?
Yes.
If we can provide some reassurance, will we be able to move ahead?
Absolutely.
Many times the caller will say yes, but it's a trap. Something known as a false yes. Top air aces avoid being drawn in and instead follow up with,
What other issue is making you hesitate?
Nothing else.
What other issue is making you hesitate?
That's all.
What other issue makes you hesitate?
It's mainly I'm worried of getting scammed. Again.
What other issue makes you hesitant?
Well, how long are we locked in?
This open-ended question is a ringer because the consumer will either tell us what their real concern is or reply with, nope, that's all. Either way, we are now within range. We will lock on to the target with,
So the issue is that you're not quite sure about the cost. So the issue is that you're not quite sure about how you will pay. So the issue is that you're not quite sure about security. So the main issue is that you're not quite sure about the contract.
just like a connection statement. When the caller says, that's right, it's a go for resolve. Would you look at that? How many of us knew to do those things? That's why you watch Sales Tips Saturday. Now tell a friend. On to step 3, resolve. Connection resolves objection. The emotion that we discovered when we asked about the why behind their dream, the story behind their pain. That will form the core of our resolution. Follow up with a leading question and a tie-down statement, and then ask for the sale. Would you believe that fail to ask for sale happens 80% of the time? Take the shot and then knock it off. The next words must come from the consumer. Breaking silence in this moment disrupts the communication between the limbic and the neocortex systems, which is essential to the buying decision process. And that's a Sales Tip Saturday for a whole other time. For now, all we need to know is that we ask for the sale and hold quiet, no matter how long it takes, because whoever talks first is buying. Now that we have dismantled air, we will reassemble and sally forth. We'll use some common objections from the theater of operations and air them out.
I can't afford that.
I see. Is it the TransUnion fee or the first work fee?
Well, I mean, that's a lot each month.
Okay, tell me more about that. If we can get together on the price, will we be able to move ahead?
Sure.
What other issue is making you hesitate?
Nothing else.
So the issue is that you're not quite sure about the cost.
That's right.
I hear that, and I'm here to help. You deserve to move to a better neighborhood and get past medical bills that are holding you back. Now, we both know that can't happen if your credit stays the same, so let's get you started.
I like your gumption. That took a lot of grit and guts. Do it again.
I don't have my card with me.
Hey, I've been there. Besides that, what else might be holding things back?
Nothing.
Fantastic. If we can get together on a way to pay, would we be able to move ahead?
Yup.
What other issue is making you hesitate?
That's all.
So the issue is that you're not quite sure about how you will pay.
That's right.
Cool. Now, I know you're ready to have your own place and privacy again after that car accident. So, let's explore all our options. How can we get started today?
Looking good. Let's do another. Turn and burn.
Let me think about it.
It's smart to consider options. What other considerations are there?
I'm just not sure about all this.
That's fair. Tell me more. If we can get together on those items, will we be able to move ahead?
Yes.
What other issue makes you hesitate?
It's mainly I'm worried of getting scammed. Again.
So the issue is that you're not quite sure about security.
That's right.
Thanks for trusting and telling me. You also trusted me with your dream of owning a home and gaining closure after the flood. We've been able to help so many people experience better life through better credit. Let's work towards helping you.
Now you're kicking like the big chicken.
I'll need to talk with my spouse.
I get that. What thoughts might they have?
They'd want to know how effective you really are.
Smart question. In what way? If we can provide some reassurance, will we be able to move ahead?
Absolutely.
What other issue makes you hesitant?
Well, how long are we locked in?
So the main issue is that you're not quite sure about the contract.
That's right.
Makes sense. Our contract is month to month, and you mentioned effectiveness. It's best to stay until all the concerning items are addressed. I know that foreclosure was sad and scary, and moving on to a new home is gonna mean acting on your credit. We can all agree on that. Let's get you both some help.
Outstanding. Objection is a person saying I'm interested. My answer is yes, but I'm afraid. Objections are our opportunity to show care and concern. The aim of AIR is to persist for the caller's sake in hope of getting them help. Acknowledge their emotion, isolate the real concern, resolve with connection, and then ask for your say. Both you and your caller will be glad that you did. Now, before we light candles, I highly encourage you to go check out Sales Tips Saturday, Sales Skills 200 series. It's next level training. You'll become more efficient, boost your income potential, and sell like a boss. In short, you'll earn from what you learn. They're found on Connect Home, as well as in Pace Campus. This is Big Chicken wishing you happy selling. Pace!